Hey BookTube, this is the Grinch book tag.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
This tag was created by Sam over at Thoughts on Tomes, and I subscribe to her and I love her. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh man, I hope somebody tags me. So fortunately, Joe over at Joe Reads Books tagged me. I love Joe. Joe, you hold my heart. You know this. Well, for me, I read a lot of new adult, and recently I've noticed that Jay Crownover's Marked Men series has kind of been going downhill. I'm like, I just like these books less and less. I liked the first one. I was okay with the second one. I loved the third one. The fourth one, nah. The fifth one, nah. It's just been kind of like, ugh, this story's just getting old, and it's kind of like she's phoning it in. But that said, I don't write books. I don't know how hard it is to write a book. And so for me to say that she's phoning it in is kind of probably presumptuous. Okay, don't even have to think about it. Frankenstein. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Absolutely hated that book. I hated it with such a passion. I still hate it. You know what? I do not see the appeal. The main character's selfish, self-serving, self-involved idiot who just wants to whine. This poor monster never stood a chance. Does bad things because what else is he going to do? I mean, nobody tells him right from wrong. I mean, he has to learn that on his own. But, it's just, I just hate that book. I hate it. It's also very dense language from the time period when Miss Mary Shelley lived, and no, I didn't like it. Well, I had to think about this one for a little while, and I had to go back through the books I've read to figure out which characters were like that, and there were a couple. First of all, Triss in Insurgent. I mean, oh, I promise you four, I will never do that, and then she does it. I just think Four as a character was this idiot to keep trusting her that she would do what she said she was going to do. She just kept doing things that she thought was for the good of everyone, and it was like, get a clue. Get a clue, Triss. No. Aria in Mystic City. Classic example of spoiled little rich girl who thinks she's going to go save the world and does all this stuff that just keeps getting people in trouble. She keeps ruining the whole resistance. And I didn't even like that book that much anyway, but a lot of it had to do with the fact that she was an idiot. She was just an idiot. I hate those kind of characters. Oh, drive me nuts. Well, this is easy. All the books. I don't care about being spoiled. In fact, I like to hear what's going to happen because for me, it's all about the way that the story unfolds. I don't care if I know the end. In fact, I like to know the end. And my family is fond of torturing me and saying, we're not going to tell you how it goes. We're not going to tell you how it ends. And I'm like, I want to know. You're not spoiling me. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, so all the books. There's a book series by Samantha Young called On Dublin Street, and I love this series. It's new adult, contemporary, set in Scotland. I love these characters. But the most recent one is called Echoes of Scotland Street, and this girl in the story, her name is Shannon. She is the main character. Oh my gosh. The stuff she believed, and I mean, you could see why she believed it, but at the same time, everybody was telling her, why are you doing that? Why do you think that? A lot of it, why don't you believe this about yourself? And why don't you trust what you know to be true? I didn't get it. I mean, when I was listening to it in the car, I was shouting at the speakers in the car. I didn't get it. I did not connect with her at all. She just kind of drove me a little crazy. Also, I have to say, Kvothe in The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This was a character that interested me, but that I really didn't connect with on any kind of a level. It was a boy orphan in a fantastical world, and, okay. It was a great story, don't get me wrong. Well written, yes. But I just didn't connect with that character because I didn't have anything in common with him. Didn't mean he wasn't interesting to read, but I just didn't connect with him. Well, anti-romantic feelings. I'm not sure I've ever had those. I'm not sure that that's a thing that it's going to ever apply to me. But I have to say that there was a book that I listened to, and I listened to it on a long trip, so it took the whole trip. And by the time I got to where I was going, I was exhausted. These people they just emotionally went to war. It was like, oh my gosh. And it was St. Clair and Isabel from Sinner, which they're characters from the Wolves of Mercy Falls series by Maggie Stiefvater. They just were trying to destroy each other. It was awful. He's a rock star and she's a spoiled rich girl. And it was like, oh my gosh, just drama, drama, drama. It was so emotionally taxing that I think, no. This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl. I'm not sure I really care about reading this. I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably a wonderful book, but it's written by a girl who dies of cancer, and she's young. She's like 16 when she dies, and she is the person on whom John Green based The Fault in Our Stars, the main character in that. So, you know, I don't want to get rid of the book because I'm glad I own it, but I'm not sure I'm ever going to read it. I just can't get rid of it. I also have some classics out in the other shelves, which I won't go get, but, you know, there are 3 or 4 books out there at least that I know that I'm probably not going to read, but I have. Things like collections of Henry David Thoreau. You know, Dobby. I cannot believe that J.K. Rowling killed Dobby. I thought I was going to die. I thought, oh my gosh, she killed Dobby. I looked at my daughter at that point and I went, oh, Dobby! I don't know that I'm still mad about it, but I'm kind of destroyed about it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe she killed Dobby. I have to say that Outlander, it's getting kind of old. It's kind of just been done and done and done and done and done, and there are like 8 or 9 books in the series. It's epic historical fiction. And I do love the way Diana Gabaldon writes because it's so historically accurate. I mean, she gets it spot on. And I always listen to them narrated on audio by Davina Porter, and she's exceptional. But this last book, you know, it wasn't really very strong. She really didn't do anything with some of the main characters, and she just kind of left them. And I thought, wow, wait a minute, you know, so. I read a book called The Taking by Kimberly Durting, and it's about a girl named Kira, and she gets basically stolen by aliens and comes back 5 years later, and she has to kind of re-enter her life, and you know, everybody's moved on and gotten older and everything. She's just like she was when she left. This character was so self-involved and so self-centered about her situation and the way everybody was treating her. And, you know, people are falling all over themselves to be nice to her and accommodate her. And she's just mad that life has gone on. And it's like, okay, you need to get over this and move on yourself because this is how it is. She drove me right up a wall, and I could not stand her at the end. I mean, I don't know, maybe at the beginning, all through the book, I just thought, you're an idiot, and you're so, get over yourself. Ugh. Well, those were all of the questions in the Grinch book tag. I have aired all my grievances. I have gotten out all my anger and passion over the characters I couldn't stand and the situations I didn't like, and how dare they, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to tag a few people at the end of this video. That's it for now for me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are.